As we dive deeper into the China-U.S. trade relations, let's go now to Qu Qiang. He's the Assistant Director of the International Monetary Institute. Great to have you on the program today. Now, Beijing claims it's one of the world's toughest countries on counter-narcotics, both in terms of policy and implementation. Do you think China has done enough to stem the flow of fentanyl?
Well, yes, I do think China has been doing greatly in the forbidden the fentanyl. Well, fentanyl actually is been treated as one of the most highly, controlled drug in China. Has been used only for very, very lethal disease or to the terminal stage of the disease. As far as I know, because I've been working very closely with the Chinese FDA and many of the top hospitals in China. Sometimes if you have injected one of these drugs containing the fentanyls to the patients in the terminal stage, even the labels, even the box, even the crates and the little glass boxes, it even need to be retreated by the hospital and all be counted with registration to the final stage until it's been fully eliminated in the furnace. So I think in China, the whole process has been really, really strict. I think only the loose end happens on the other side of the ocean, which is in America. The prescriptions are so easily can get access to, and also people can use all kinds of the different ways to get access to the different types of fentanyl products. And also there's another point I have to make is that in America, the abuse of all the drugs have been very closely linked to, the economic situation. I have to point it out that every time when there is a drug will happen in America across the border with Mexico, there always is a backdrop, which is the inflation, stagflation, or the oil crisis, like in the 1970s, like in the 1980s, when the cartel happened to rise up in Mexico and also in Colombia. So I think currently when Trump are imposing all kinds of the tariff against Mexico and Canada, squeezing out the jobs and collapsing all these SMEs in Mexico, I think they probably should be prepared for another drug war or another rise of the cartel in Mexico.
Now, in these last few hours, tariffs that were expected to come into effect on Tuesday with Mexico and Canada have been paused. The tariffs with China remain in place. Now, obviously, the issue with pausing these tariffs with Mexico and Canada relied on a negotiation, one of which was the immigration policy on Mexico's border. Do you think it will take a negotiation point to pause the tariffs with China? And if so, what will it be?
Well, I think this is absolutely a very classical, tactic of a Texas Hold'em poker. We call bluffing. Well, Trump is a very shrewd man, a businessman, and all his administration and all his, experts are actually very professional. You can say everything about them but stupid. They actually get very fully prepared for this so-called crazy plan of a tariff against its own alliances and further against the largest trading partner, China. And I think that what they're doing so is that they give you a bluffing, a threat in about 25% or even 40%, but then even eventually they give you 10% or give you a 30 days delay so they can bargain with you. And as the victim, you will think, okay, I have already been prepared for the worst, and now you give me less than that. Probably have a little bit of feeling about, grateful or something like that. So you will think you should negotiate with this, threateners. This is how this tactic works.
Right.
And I think
but what would be that issue with China? We know with Mexico it's immigration. What would it be with China?
Well, with China, it's simple. Is that probably China will impose more of the policies helping America to control the fentanyls, helping America to build their own capacities of manufacturing, for example, semiconductors, EV, or some other green energies, which Trump wanted for, or use China to, or urge China to, buy more of American airplanes or aviation technologies so that they can reverse this trade surplus or trade deficit in America. So I think this is the ultimate goal of Trump's administration. Money is all they're talking about.
All right, Qu Qiang, thank you so much for your time.